Companies should always meet with federal stakeholders or try to meet with federal stakeholders when pursuing opportunities and requirements in agencies that they don't have any current relationships. But one of the classic ways to meet with federal stakeholders in new agencies for companies is through partners. Now, a lot of times you're pursuing work, it's a new agency, and for whatever reason, we don't ask the question. The most important question that you should ask for a partner is, do you have a relationship with such, such, and such? We recommend to show up to these calls with partners, at least knowing the names, at least having identified them. Who are the federal stakeholders? So you drop their names and you say, look, do you have a relationship with these guys? If they say yes, that's a valid potential partner. If they say no, it is not a valid potential partner. So it is always important to ask the questions at once from the beginning. In our process, we have it in milestone 0. Our milestone 0 for relationship zone, partners, and competitors involves asking and confirming if they have or not current relationships, or if they have reached, either through corporate employees or through delivery, if they have reached to the further stakeholders of the opportunity. If not, it is a waste of time. Sometimes people don't ask clear questions, they're not straightforward, and they end up moving along, and none of them have a relationship with the people that they need to have a relationship with. So it's a waste of time. We'd rather be blunt and ask at once, do they know the people or they don't know the people? We have a lot of success stories in this way. It is important sometimes to realize that some company may not be an ideal technical fit for a specific requirement, but it doesn't matter, because if you find an opportunity that is a perfect technical match, then maybe it is okay if you don't find a partner in that agency, in that new agency, that is a perfect technical match. In other words, you may find a partner that have the relationships, but not 100% their capabilities. And also, if they have the relationship 100%, and if they have the capabilities 100%, then they may not need you unless there's a vehicle or a set-aside situation. So, for example, in FDA, one of our customers was a perfect technical match for a requirement, rather large requirement, $50 or $60 million, something like that. And we introduced to a company that we have known for years that is in FDA, but they were really not a technical match. This company is more of a PMO type of company. They don't do too much, really technical, IT things, but they had perfect relationships. So our customer was able to have 3 meetings with the federal stakeholders thanks to this other company. Now, again, this other company was not a perfect technical match. So sometimes I think we commit a mistake in looking for partners in new agencies that are a perfect technical match or a great technical match. It doesn't matter. What matters is the relationships. Now, the thing is, how do you convince a company that is maybe not ideal technical match but have great relationships to partner with you, other than have a great technical solution? There are many companies that have great technical solutions. So what we did in this case, or our customer did with our help in this case, is to call this company with great relationships with a lot of information about the requirement and about the pain points. And we did that through incumbent employees. So in the first call that we have with this company, the amount of information that we have was very, very important. We knew the staffing, we knew the pain points, we knew the names of the people that they knew and we didn't. So we create a great first impression in this call with a connected partner. I cannot maybe say a lot of details, but for this, before the call with the partner, we interview, the company was looking for a partner, interview 16 incumbent personnel. So we have a lot of pain points, a lot of information, unclear record control, role overlap, low organizational priority for certain topics, fragmented platforms, absence of automation records management, workforce disruption, heavy dependence on paper, manual metadata entry, underutilized capabilities. Our customer was able, with our help, to convey an absolute command of the technology that the FDA should be using and what was going on at that very moment with the incumbent, which was a strong incumbent or somewhat strong incumbent, at least a good incumbent for FDA. So in that situation, what happens sometimes with introductions, introductions depend on how you're going to make the introducer look. If you ask someone for an introduction, the first thing they're going to think is, how is this company going to make me look? So it is very important to show knowledge and command of the environment and of the technologies. Nobody's going to introduce a company that may not make them look perfect. The most important thing when you ask for an introduction is that the feeling should be that they're not making a favor to you, that they're doing a favor to the other person. They're doing a favor to the person who introduced. And this is what happened in this case. Our customer had 3 meetings doing demos at FDA because the company that made the introduction felt that it will look great by introducing our customer. It was an interesting back and forth with the government. They gave feedback, very rich feedback, and we had 3 demos, and the demos are changing and improving and getting closer to what they want. So this is a great case of doing the right thing to get actual introductions and productive meetings with the federal government through partners.